Hi, my name is Wayne Chassie, and I am 52 years old. I live in East Haddam, Connecticut. I've been in and out of the music business for a lot of years, since the 1970s. Played in a lot of bands, and now I'm really basically getting all my songwriting capabilities and putting them to use and trying to create music on a DAW and playing all the instruments. So that's my reason for taking this course. So I'm hoping to learn some things that maybe I don't know, and I'm sure there's things that I don't. But what I'm going to be talking about today is the cables and connectors. And I'm going to start off with the TS cable, which is a 1/4-inch cable, sometimes called the instrument cable, a guitar cord, phone connector, and even a patch cord back in the early 1900s. These were actually used by operators to patch in callers from one caller to another caller. So these have been around for a long, long time. And the designation of the TS is for the tip and sleeve, which are, if you can look closely, you'll see that is separated by an insulator, which keeps them from shorting out to each other. The sleeve is a ground on a coating or a shield that's around this cable that grounds it on both ends, and leaving the one conductor in this cable to carry the signal across from end to end. There's other versions of this cable, which is, I have one right here. This is the TRS cable, which is a tip ring sleeve. So this one has 2 conductors in it, and it has the ability to carry one here, one in this ring area separated by 2 insulators, and then the sleeve here. This is actually an adapter connected to an 1/8-inch tip ring sleeve, or TRS cable, which you'll find in a lot of the common consumer electronics. The 1/4-inch tends to be more for professional grade audio and home studios, that type of thing, where they're still using the larger, more, I think, durable 1/4-inch cable for that application. And next we'll be talking about the XLR cable. Okay, we're here for the XLR cable, which is this guy. This was a cable that was invented by a Richard H. Cannon back in the early 1900s. I think it was around the 30s or 40s. Anyways, they were bought out by ITT, the mega giant out in California. These cables have a 3-pin configuration, although this wasn't the only configuration they did have. They had as many as 7 conductors at one point in time. Now these have one ground connector right there, and then we have 2 audio signal connectors right there. That's what makes them balanced, because you're getting the signal on both of those conductors are the same audio signal, and then with the ground shielding that's around this cable is what gives you that the ability to reject a lot of the noises that would come from a cable laying in a electrified environment. This also has a locking type connector, and I'll show you on the top there. You can see if I push that in, it goes in. It's a wedge-shaped locking connector, which when squeezed shut, it locks good, and that's good and tight. You're not pulling that apart. And the same thing is if you take this female and you plug it into a microphone, standard microphone, and this has got to have a male end inside. Well, when these plug together, you'll hear it. Locks. That baby's locked in there. It's not coming out unless you push this plug. Now, so that's different than the TS cable, which when plugged in, believe me, if you see a guitarist that's never played before, he just plugs it into his guitar. Where most guitarists that have been playing for a while, they know to wrap it around their guitar strap, then plug it into their guitar. Because how many times have you walked, and pulled your guitar cord out? It's happened to me more than I like to remember. Back to the XLR cable. This is used for the longer runs. These are the cables that you're going to want to use from a DI box from your base, and running this back to your A to D converter. So these are the ones that have the lower signal loss, the better shielding, and the balanced, which makes all the difference in the world. And the next cable we're going to talk about is the RCA cable. Okay, the last cable we have to talk about, at least for this demonstration, is the RCA cable, which is another one of the cables that you'll find most commonly in a home studio, actually, or even in your behind your television set in your home, where you're going to find all your cables connecting up to your TV and your DVD and your CD player and all that. These are commonly used for those. In fact, this is a pair for red and white, which is right and left audio. These connectors are much like a TS cable, which is you have the center conductor for the audio signal, and the ring around the outside there is for the grounding. Now these have a ground around this core conductor, but you can see the cable is very, very thin, and it's not as interference free, let's say, like a regular TS cable. Has a much better shielding on it. So these are ones that you would want to be watch out for, especially lengthwise. I've seen guys with these where they're 10 feet long, and that's not the place to have a 10-foot long RCA cable in your studio. You want to keep these as short as possible, and make better use of any other kind of cable that you can. These are the cheapest cables to find, and these are also the ones that you want to spend the money on if you're using them, because of their lowest made quality. I think of most of the instrument cables or cables that you would have in your studio. So this is Wayne Chassey signing out, and thank you for watching.